Daddy, there's a girl who looks just like me, but she's ugly. My 7-year-old daughter, Lily, whispered this to me one evening, her eyes wide with a strange mix of confusion and fear. I chuckled, ruffling her hair. Oh, sweetie, everyone has a doppelganger somewhere. It's just a funny coincidence. As a billionaire who had built a tech empire from the ground up, I was used to dealing with tangible problems, with data and logic. A child's fantasy about an ugly look-alike was just that. A fantasy. I dismissed it, attributing it to her vivid imagination, something she inherited from her late mother. But Lily was persistent. Every few days, she'd bring it up. I saw her again, Daddy, near the park. Her clothes are old and her hair is messy. She described the girl with such detail, always ending with, "She has my eyes, but they're sad." A flicker of unease began to creep into my perfectly curated world. Childlike imagination was one thing, but this was becoming an obsession. My logical mind told me to ignore it, but the father in me, the part that saw my late wife in Lily's determined little face, couldn't let it go. Curiosity, that relentless driver of all my successes, began to gnaw at me. So I did what I do best. I launched an investigation. I hired a private detective, feeling ridiculous as I explained the situation. Find a 7-year-old girl, looks like my daughter, but unkempt. The detective looked at me like I was crazy, but my money made him compliant. I gave him the location Lily mentioned, a modest neighborhood on the other side of town, a world away from our sprawling estate. I expected him to come back with nothing, a simple case of mistaken identity or a child's tall tale. I was preparing my "I told you so" speech for Lily. A week later, the detective called me. His voice was tense. "Sir, you need to see this." He sent me a file. I opened it, my heart pounding with an unexplainable dread. The first image was a grainy photo of a little girl sitting on a park bench. Her clothes were frayed, her face smudged with dirt. But her face, it was Lily's. The same delicate nose, the same chin, the same cascade of blonde hair, albeit tangled and uncared for. And her eyes, Lily was right. They were my daughter's eyes. But they held a profound sadness that shattered my composure. It was like looking at a ghost, a version of my daughter from a nightmare I never knew I had. I stared at the screen, my world tilting on its axis. The report detailed her name was Maya. She lived with her grandmother in a small, run-down apartment. The next piece of information hit me like a physical blow. Her date of birth was identical to Lily's. My blood ran cold. My mind raced back 8 years, to a chaotic time before my first big success, to a relationship I had ended abruptly, a chapter of my life I had deliberately buried. Her name was Sarah. She had told me she was pregnant, but I was young, ambitious, and scared. I gave her money, a lot of it, and told her I couldn't be a father. I walked away and never looked back, convincing myself it was for the best. I met Lily's mother a year later, and the rest was history. The truth crashed down on me with the force of a tidal wave. This wasn't a look-alike. This was my daughter, another daughter. A twin sister Lily never knew she had. The ugly look-alike was my own flesh and blood, living in poverty while her sister lived in unimaginable luxury. The weight of my past, the secrets I had locked away, came flooding back, leaving me heartbroken and ashamed. I had built an empire on logic and control. But my life was a lie, built on a foundation of abandonment. Now, looking at the picture of this sad-eyed little girl who was the mirror image of my beloved Lily, I knew my carefully constructed world was about to be torn apart. And I was the only one to blame. The journey to right this devastating wrong was just beginning, and I knew it would be the most difficult and important challenge I would ever face. Thank you so much for watching. This story is a powerful reminder that our past actions always find a way to catch up with us. If you were moved by this journey of discovery and family, Please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more emotional and thought-provoking stories. We'll see you in the next video.